We'll get to Kyler Murray and the Cardinals in just a second, but first, USA Basketball, Utah's Donovan Mitchell, your guy, see, starting the break, giving it up to Kemba Walker, who throws it back to Mitchell.
With so many guys asking out of Team USA this summer, for a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who the Jazz are going to need to take a real leap this year in year 3. A leadership role in this team, maybe being one of the better players on this team, could be super valuable for him.
And he's got a point guard, just like he'll have during the regular season.
More hoops now. Class of 2020 point guard R.J. Davis shaking the defender straight to the ground. Steph Curry was there. Big impressed.
Okay.
That's his big impressed look.
Is this why he got shipped to the ground the day before?
Right, by a 2021 class. Oh, but that is bad. I mean, that guy like...
Looked like he was getting ready to do a reverse spin on him. I need to see another camera angle in the gym. Our other camera was busy, so I couldn't see if he stepped on his foot.
Here we go, Bears camp. David Montgomery, tough to take down.
There's one, you got to get off me. Now, you really got to get off me. You better call your friends up.
Yeah, this is the problem in training camp, though. The reason why he looks so good like that, because the defenders are not allowed to tackle. So they're allowed to thump and grab, but when you can't bring your legs and bring them to the ground, it gives the offensive player, especially a running back, a huge advantage. So a lot of times the defenders get upset. They get set up and get knocked out.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that. On to tonight's preseason action. All eyes will be on number one.
We're starting football tonight, baby!
Kyler Murray. Yeah. The Cardinals quarterback getting ready for his NFL debut against the Chargers. If you've got the urge to throw some money around, Nick, Cardinals are favored by 2.5 points. Here's what Kyler had to say about playing tonight.
Everybody's got, nerves to go out and play. Anxious to get out there. It's the first game. You get drafted. You go out there and play, and you don't want to do bad. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's a football game. When we get out there, it's going to be just like how it always has been. And I'm looking forward to having fun.
I'm sure he'll be more amped than nervous. I mean, he's a guy. He's a competitor, and he gets the butterflies just like everybody else. But he loves when the lights are on.
Boy, that's what he says, that he's got the butterflies like everyone else. But, man, if you speak to any of the teammates in that locker room, they say he is one of the calmest, with the easiest demeanor heading into this preseason debut tonight. See, what are you going to be looking forward to from Kyler Murray?
The one thing is not only his teammates have expressed that, the teammate that I know the best, in Larry Fitzgerald, had some very flattering things to say about Kyler. And if you listen to Larry Fitzgerald, he's played with more quarterbacks than any other great receiver in NFL history. Very seldom does he ever talk about the quarterbacks and quarterbacks' ability to run their offense and either throw the football. Larry's just not one who does something like that. He's been very, very conservative. He's played it the right way. So when Larry says something, you need to listen. This kid is special as far as his composure. Now, can they put him in a winning situation? Can they protect him? All those things are the reason why we're Josh Rosen. He had potential. But if you allow a guy to get hit early, like their chance of being successful, and Josh is not the only one. It's year after year in this league. The #1 way to fail for a top quarterback pick is allow him to get hit early. My biggest issue right now is the air raid offense. It hadn't been successful. It's an offense that typically takes advantage of the hash marks in college that are a lot wider than the pro hash marks. So what they try to do is get the ball in space, typically sideways. They don't have the normal reads that a conventional NFL offense has, where I'm going to go to 1. They take that away. I'm going to go to 2, go to 3, into my check down. Their read process is totally different. So now, in the NFL, the ball's in the middle of the field. The pursuit angles are totally different. The guys are a lot faster. Now, does this offense have the ability to be able to hold off in week #1? Matt Patricia, who has an encyclopedia of Bill Belichick blitzes, he's going to be throwing at them. In Baltimore, one of the other top defenses in week #2 that they're going to be throwing at them. So I talked to Kurt Warner a lot about Kyler. He's been out there watching him play. He's really excited to see him. He believes he's really special. He said he's a lot like Baker Mayfield and Patty Mahomes. Because they played some baseball, they can throw it by taking a short step. So his arm strength, he said, is amazing. His accuracy is amazing. He just wanted to see the rest of that offense. Same thing that I want to see. Most college offenses to all have failed in the NFL. Let's see what they can do in Arizona.
To build on Chris's point about being able to protect him and who they have to start the season, Matt Patricia, who you mentioned, they added Trey Flowers. They're a team that obviously is going to try to be a defense-first team. You mentioned Baltimore.
Mike Daniels.
Mike Daniels, who they also brought in very recently from Green Bay. Baltimore might have been the best defense in football last year. Oh, in Week 3, Carolina, the team that I think has the best front seven in the NFC. In Week 4, Seattle. And even if it's not the Legion of Boom anymore, that always is a consistently good defense. So it's going to be thrown right into the fire immediately. History is, though, on Kyler Murray's side in this regard. We talk about drafting quarterbacks being a crapshoot and how everyone's kind of guessing, and that is true in large part. It is not that historically true when it comes to one spot in the draft. First pick of the first round. If you are the #1 pick of the draft at this position, your hit rate of becoming a Pro Bowler over the last 20-some-odd years is about 80%.
Wow.
And now, as soon as you get to the #2 pick, it's about 1 and 2. It drops off enormously. If you have the talent to be 1-1, it is much more often than not that you have at least a period of your career where you're a very high-level player. It's rare it's Tim Couch. It's rare it's Jamarcus Russell. Even Alex Smith, who looked like a bust early, ended up having a very nice run at the end of his time in San Francisco and then in Kansas City. That's the history that's on Kyler Murray's side. The history that's against him is what Chris said, the history of this offense, or really any collegiate offense coming to the NFL, and of course, the non-existent history of a player his size at that position being a starting quarterback in the NFL.
You talk during basketball season so much about one of the things you have an issue with Ben Simmons is when you watch him play, he's got no pregame routine. There's nothing that sets him up for success during a game. How important is it going to be? I mean, can that translate to football? How important will it be for a guy like Kyler Murray to come in right off the bat, have a routine, set himself up to succeed, and then be able to carry that on and follow that?
Well, one thing as a thrower, we have to realize he has one of the better coaches, his dad. His dad coached him. His dad played at a high level, had a chance to play professional football. And we saw what he did at Oklahoma. He's a pure thrower of the football, even though he's a great athlete. So he's got great fundamentals. He's got the things that make a quarterback, but it's the intangibles. What happens to what I call the franchise talent, as far as are they going to put the right people around them? I'm more concerned about that. I'm not concerned about his ability. I'm concerned about, will he be able to function? Will they knock the football out of him? Will they get him a chance to succeed? David Johnson becomes a huge role in doing that from the running back position. Larry Fitzgerald deciding to play another year was huge for him to be able to calm things down. So I believe that he's developed the right fundamentals. I believe that he has a great routine. He is a tremendous thrower of the football. I'm excited about seeing him because I do believe someone at that height is going to play well in the NFL, and I do believe that Kyler could be that first one because he has all the talent that you want a quarterback to have.
When you talk about franchise talent, like the institutional stability to give him a chance. To give himself a chance to succeed. And the way they went about this offseason, I understand it, but it doesn't necessarily address Chris's biggest concerns, a lot of people's biggest concerns, which is the offensive line. When you took the quarterback #1 overall, obviously. In the 2nd round, you went wide receiver. In the 4th round, you went wide receiver. You didn't draft an offensive lineman until the 6th round. Now, I know they spent money in free agency on offensive linemen, but it's rare a great offensive lineman's available in free agency because teams hold on to those. So it's going to be a different offensive line than they had last year because they brought in players from other teams, but they didn't try to, okay, we're going to take Kyler and then do what the Colts did the 2nd time around with Luck, use our premium draft picks on offense.
People think because they don't have a book on Cliff Kingsbury in the league, that's an advantage. To me, it's a disadvantage because I don't believe Cliff, whatever he's going to do in week #1, he can do it in the preseason. So now they're going to do something in the preseason, then they're going to try to change it up because in practice, they've been very secretive of what they're going to do, what the offense looks like. It looks like a pro offense. I know people that have been at their practice. It looks like a pro offense compared to a college offense. Let's see how they transition from the preseason to the regular season because that week #1, when you're facing those live bullets out there, that college offense and the overall philosophy, it better be out the window.
All right, Kyler Murray making his NFL preseason debut tonight. Cardinals and Chargers. It's a late game. Nick will probably stay up for it. So So will CC, and so will I. Coming up,
the first quarter.
A Hall of Famer says that the criticism of Dak Prescott has gone too far. That's next. This is First Things First.
Is that Hall of Famer sitting across from me?
That's what I said, the A's.
Yeah, now you're going to switch.